making a video. I don't make videos, so I'm not gonna be very good at this. But we're gonna have a little existential crisis together because it's something that has plagued me since I've been a child, and I don't feel like anybody understands what I'm getting at whenever I try and talk about this shit. So I'm gonna break it down once and for all. So I need you to just picture nothing, like absolutely nothing. Go. Okay, you're probably picturing like just blackness, you know, but black is something, right? So you're not very good at picturing nothing. But at one point you were nothing. You used to not have been born. You know, you were just nothing, right? And the thing, you should have never been born in the first place. Like, the odds of you being here, 0 for all intents and purposes. It's 0, right? Because, you know, there's like, I don't know. I did the math a minute ago and I forgot to write this part down. But like, we'll say thousands, we'll underestimate thousands of sperm cells per ejaculate, right? And we'll say thousands of eggs. I don't know, probably thousands of eggs. And, you know, the chances of that one sperm in that egg and then you pop out, you know, are pretty small already. Like, we're already talking pretty small. Not let alone, you know, the eggs that have already passed through the woman's body and the sperms that have already that direction, you know, not to make you. And so we're just going to disregard that. So the odds are very low already, right? But then we still haven't even talked about the fact that your mom and your dad had to meet each other. And then once again, you know, they probably intermingled sperms and eggs a couple times, maybe, or attempted to, we'll say. And yeah, you still didn't pop out however many times that happened. You happened to pop out this one time. And then, whenever those sperm and the egg, the genes that actually went into creating the zygote or whatever, you know, there's odds in that. It's 50-50, right? So you get one here, you get one here, you pick and choose. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, you know. But our odds are getting smaller by everything we're talking about here, right? So the odds are not looking very good right now, right? So your mom and your dad, you know, they had a couple fun times together, and you happened to pop out that one fun time. But also, your mom and your dad had to meet, you know? Like, the odds of them meeting is pretty low, let alone making it happen, you know? So keep that in mind. But then, everything that we just talked about with the sperm and the cell applies to them too, you know? So, alright, now we just doubled, or cut in half, the odds, you know? So we're really getting pretty small here. And that had to happen for your grandparents too, and your great-grandparents, and each of their great-grandparents, and each of their parents, you know? So we're talking really small numbers here, okay? Alright, now we gotta... Damn! Okay, so we gotta shift the conversation here. So, just so we can get into perspective how small these odds are, right? Because we're talking pretty fucking small. Also, not even to mention the fact that fish had to do this. Fish, and then lizards, and monkeys, and each one of them had to happen the same exact way with the perfect sperm and the perfect egg, and then mutations, blah blah blah, for a long time. It's fucking crazy. Anyways, so we're gonna talk about atoms for a second. I should have brought a demonstration. Go watch a Vsauce video or something. Picture I'm holding like a red Solo cup, right? And it's got like this much water in the red Solo cup. The amount of atoms in that much water, how do I say this? There are more atoms in this much water in my red Solo cup than there are red Solo cups of water on the planet. Planet Earth. Fucking crazy. So now we have an understanding of, you know, atoms, how small these things are, you know. They're really small, like really small. I just had it pulled up and I didn't write it down once again. But a baseball has, I believe it was, damn, oh, here we go. One cell, one human cell, just general human cell, I don't know. ChatGPT told me this, we'll go with it. Put a guess in your mind how many atoms are in one human cell. Right, like probably like 1,000. Right, probably like maybe at most like 10,000, because cells are pretty small. 100,000. 100,000 atoms are in every cell, right? That's a lot. It's a lot per cell, and your cell has, I don't know, your body has millions of cells. Like, that's a lot too. So you get what I'm getting at. It's a lot. There's a lot. After crunching some of this is probably a low estimate if I had to guess for the odds of you being born. The odds of you being born are so ridiculously low. Remember, I said basically 0 earlier. And I mean that. Basically 0. Like, you should not be here, yet here you are. The number of atoms, again, 100,000 atoms per cell. The number of atoms in the whole universe. The universe. Hopefully you understand how big the universe is, because it's preposterous. There's like, what is it? 10 billion galaxies in the universe, just that we know of. Anyways, let's not get sidetracked. The universe is fucking huge. In the universe, there are 10 to the power of 80 atoms. And you might be thinking, that's not that big a number. 10 to the power 80. If I wrote out 80 zeros here, that'd be a lot of zeros, okay? Keep in mind, every zero you add is 10 times the previous number before you added that zero. That's fucking huge! That's a big number. It's a ridiculously big number. So if you haven't comprehended how big that number is, pause it and think about it. Ponder it until you understand how big 10 to the power of 80 is. Okay? I'll give you a second here. Okay, welcome back. The odds of you being born, conservatively speaking, because again, I didn't give ChatGPT all the parameters to figure this out. I gave it a couple. Conservatively speaking, the odds of you being born are 10 to the power of 18,000. Conservatively. Atoms in the universe. Chances of you being born conservatively. Atoms in the whole universe. The odds of you being born. And being you. Like, you're here. You're in this shit. Welcome to life. You gotta have a job and pay bills and, like... And you're in here, you get to experience love and hate and tragedy and miracles and, all the crazy shit that life has to offer in the, amount of years that you're granted to be here. And it should have never happened. It should have never happened. I need you to seriously take this number in. Atoms in the universe, odds of you being born. 1 in this number. 1 out of this many. Should have done a little bit better math here. But if you were an ethereal being that could just reach into the soup of the universe and pick out one atom, you would have for all intents and purposes, 18,000 better chance of getting the atom that you were hoping for than you being born. 18,000 better chances. And for a while you weren't born, and what the hell was that? And it might be the same thing after you die. Who knows? Oh man. And I'm not even, I don't know what religion I am. I don't really dive too deep into that. But man. I just got to be here. And I just got to, oh, brother. This plagues me. This has plagued me since I've been 7 years old, and it's killed me. And there's never going to be an answer. You know, we're not just going to one day stumble upon the reason that we're here and how it all happened, and, you know, the secret to life and the meaning of life and all that. You know, they're kind of unanswerable questions, I guess. But God, it's messed up, dude. So basically, if you take anything from this, you shouldn't even be here. And maybe it'll never have even mattered that you were here in the first place with, you know, everything else that'll happen throughout the course of the rest of future history. Oh, man. So, I mean, if you're scared to ask her out or something, if you're scared of anything, don't be, because, you know, you only got this one chance, and you should have never been granted this chance. So you got supremely lucky. If you haven't comprehended these numbers yet, you don't even understand how lucky you are to have been granted this opportunity to experience whatever the hell life is, especially as a human. You know, like, we got thousands of other species, millions of other species, I don't know. And you got to be born as a human that has to pay bills and all that, but also we get to experience, you know, like we get to have conversations with people and talk about the shit that we're talking about now, and, you know, it's pretty cool. So, yeah, man. Basically, all I'm trying to say is YOLO, you know? That's the motto.